After fiddle farting around with this thing, I have discovered a few things. My old friend couldn't get this thing to start. My old friend, the fuel shutoff solenoid is, yeah, great, nice little wire right here. So it shuts the fuel off to the carburetor. When you shut it off, it has to have 12 volts. Well, I decided to check that because I can dump all the fuel I want and it'll run perfectly fine, and I just confirmed it. I just ran a jumper wire to my positive battery cable. Fires right up, runs good. Hook it back up, make sure it's all connections all back in there. Fire it up, runs for a couple of seconds and drops out. Shuts off. So if I start it up while it's running, wiggle the ignition switch around, it kicks back in. So I get a bad ignition switch, got a bad connection in there. I can get it to run by bypassing that little fuel solenoid wire. It has to have 12 volts, which was just a matter of grounding it, then I could just cut it loose. The other thing I found, I couldn't move it. I got the deck off it. The pulley was out of place, the drive pulley. I could hear something going, but it wouldn't move. Realized I had to come back here and put this back into drive mode, which is back here and not up in front of there, which is push it around mode. But still didn't do anything, so I decided to go under here and have a look-see. And what I look-see'd at, where am I? I'm backwards, aren't I? Sorry, backwards. I had this thing in the other direction. So what I discovered was, since this thing's been in push it around mode so long, EMS helicopter. Now I gotta figure out what the heck it is. So the little thingy comes back here. There's the little lever. Well, I got under here and this little thing was hanging down. When it's pushed for pushing mode, which frees it up, this is like this. When I came back in here, that was up because I put it back into drive mode. That was stuck down. So I came and blew that out. Apparently that's the little go lever right there. Once I cleared that up and it pushed back in, what do you know, this thing drives around just fine. So, major problem solved. It now moves. I gotta weld up the deck, get it back on. I freed up the center blade drive on that. I guess I have to get an ignition switch, or I'm just gonna bypass thing for the time being. I'll just run a wire right up to the 12 volt terminal there and run this thing, get it dialed in while I wait. I actually ordered another fuel pump this morning for no reason. Really, you can hardly tell any fuel in this thing. The tank's full, but that's apparently plenty enough for it to pump fuel and run. So that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and weld on that, see if my welder works on the deck, and we'll come back to this in a bit.